I will sue you and your entire family for this embarrassment.
You won't believe what this auntie did at someone's wedding. She wasn't even invited, but she came, ate, drank, and nearly scattered everything. This woman no get shame at all. Sit down, make I tell you what happened. Her name was Auntie Beatrice, but if you see the way she behaved, you would think she was still competing for Miss Nigeria. Auntie Beatrice was the General Overseer of Uninvited Guests Ministry. She was the professor of I Know Better Than You University. If there was a PhD in entering where she was not called, this woman would have 3 certificates hanging on her sitting room wall. Her mouth was like DSTV with unlimited subscription. Always on, never buffering, broadcasting 24/7 to whoever cared to listen, and even those who didn't. If comparison was water, Auntie Beatrice would have drowned the whole of Lagos. Every conversation with her was a competition she must win. Your car is fine, hers is finer. Your child got admission, her child got scholarship. You cooked jollof rice, her own jollof rice was so sweet that even the ancestors woke up to eat. She was like agbalumo that refused to be sweet, always sour, always bitter, always comparing. Her eyes were sharper than EFCC when they are looking for Yahoo boys. Nothing passed her. She knew who bought new car before the person even drove it home. She knew who was pregnant before the person even took the test. If knowing other people's business was an employment opportunity, Auntie Beatrice would have been a permanent secretary by now, collecting pension. It was a bright Saturday morning when Auntie Beatrice's phone beeped. Her neighbor, Mama Tunde, had posted on the women's WhatsApp group. Please, if you see Auntie Shade today, help me greet her. Her daughter Chioma is getting married next Saturday. The wedding go loud gone. They have rented the whole of Jade Palace event center. I hear say their soybean alone is 50,000 naira. Auntie Beatrice's eyes shone like torchlight in a dark room. Her heart began to beat like talking drum at a coronation ceremony. A wedding? A big wedding? And she was just hearing about it now? She quickly typed, "Hey, yeah, Chioma is getting married. That small girl. Omo, I still remember when her mother was carrying her for belle. In fact, I was there when Auntie Shede married her husband, Seth. Cha, time flies, oh." This was a complete lie. Auntie Beatrice had only moved to the area 5 years ago, and Chioma was already 28 years old. But who would check? Lying was like second language to her. She spoke it fluently with British accent. She waited for her invitation. 1 day passed. 2 days passed. 3 days, 4 days. By Friday, Auntie Beatrice realized the truth. She was not invited. Her chest was paining her like she swallowed hot coal. How could they not invite her? She, Auntie Beatrice, the most important person in the whole of Surulere. The disrespect was too much. That night, she couldn't sleep. She turned on her bed like a shawarma being roasted. Her husband, Uncle Jide, was snoring like a generator, but Auntie Beatrice's brain was working like a computer with unlimited data. By 3 a.m., she had made her decision. Invitation or no invitation, she was going to that wedding. Saturday morning came like a thief in the night. Auntie Beatrice woke up at 5 a.m., earlier than a rooster with an alarm clock. She had a mission and nothing would stop her, not even sense. She went to her wardrobe and brought out her most expensive outfit, a green and gold assortment that she had been saving for her own daughter's wedding, which had not even been planned yet. The gele on her head was so tall, it was like she was carrying a 3-story building. If you see the way she tied that gele, you would think she was going to meet the Queen of England. Her jewelry was singing "We Are the Champions" on her neck and wrists. She wore more gold than a bank vault. Her earrings were so big, they could have been used as satellite dishes. She smelled like she bathed inside a perfume factory, a mixture of oud, roses, and "I'm coming to show off."
Uncle Jide looked at her from the bed and shook his head. "Beatrice, I thought you said you were not invited to this wedding." "Who told you I'm not invited?" She snapped at him like a hungry crocodile. "In fact, Auntie Shade called me personally. She said I must come. She said if I don't come, there will be no wedding. You don't know my importance. That's why you are talking." Uncle Jide knew his wife. He had been married to her for 35 years. arguing with Auntie Beatrice was like fighting with a moving train. You would only enjoy yourself. So he kept quiet and continued snoring. By 11 a.m., Auntie Beatrice was ready. She looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. She was like a peacock that had just taken selfie, proud, colorful, and completely unbothered by reality. Jade Palace Event Center was glowing like heaven had relocated to Lagos. The decorations were so fine, even angels would stop to take pictures. White and gold everywhere. Chandeliers hanging like stars that came down to visit Earth. The chairs had ribbons that looked more expensive than some people's wedding budget. Auntie Beatrice stepped out of her Uber like Beyoncé at the Grammy Awards. She walked to the entrance with her shoulders high, her chest forward like a soldier going to receive a medal. The bouncers at the door looked at her. "Good afternoon, ma. Your invitation card?" Auntie Beatrice looked at the bouncer like he had just asked her to fly to the moon. "Invitation card? You don't know who I am? I am Auntie Beatrice. I knew the bride's mother before she even knew herself. In fact, I was at her grandmother's funeral. I am family." The bouncer looked confused. He checked his list. No Auntie Beatrice anywhere. But the woman was speaking with so much confidence, so much authority, like she owned the whole event center and the land it was standing on. The second bouncer whispered to the first one, "Maybe she's one of those important family members where they no put for list. You know how these Lagos weddings they be." They let her in, just like that. Auntie Beatrice had conquered her first obstacle. She walked into the hall like she was the mother of the bride. People were staring at her and she loved it. She thought they were admiring her outfit. She didn't know they were wondering, who is this woman and why is she dressed like she's going to wrestle with the bride?
The MC's voice boomed through the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats. The bride and groom will be entering soon." Auntie Beatrice looked around the hall. There were different sections: family and friends, colleagues, church members, and special guests. She saw the special guest table right in front, near the high table where the bride and groom would sit. The table had bottles of champagne standing like soldiers at attention. The chairs had extra cushions. This was the VIP of VIP. Without thinking twice, Auntie Beatrice marched to that table and sat down. She arranged her asoke, adjusted her gele, and smiled like she had just won a lottery. The other people at the table looked at her with confusion. One woman whispered to her friend, "I thought this table was for the governor's wife and the senators." But Auntie Beatrice had already made herself comfortable. She even opened one bottle of champagne and poured herself a glass. She raised it up and said loudly, "To the bride and groom, may their marriage be sweeter than my own." Then she drank it in one gulp like someone drinking water after crossing the Sahara Desert. The DJ started playing the wedding march. Everyone stood up. The doors opened and Chioma, the bride, walked in with her father. She was beautiful. Her dress was shining like 1,000 diamonds had decided to have a party on her body. Her makeup was flawless. She was smiling like someone who had just won Miss World and Olympics on the same day. Auntie Beatrice started crying. Big, loud tears. The people at her table were shocked. One man asked, "Madam, are you okay? Are you related to the bride?" "Related?" Auntie Beatrice shouted between sobs. "I am more than related. I am like her second mother. I carried her when she was I taught her how to walk. The man was confused. "But you look younger than the bride's mother. How did you... Are you calling me old?" Auntie Beatrice's tears dried up immediately like a tap that had been turned off. "Young man, mind your business, so face your front." The bride and groom reached the high table and sat down. The MC started his program. Then came the moment Auntie Beatrice had been waiting for. Food time. The waiter started bringing small chops, poof poof, spring rolls, samosa, chicken wings, peppered snail, asson, everything that made Nigerian parties worth attending. Auntie Beatrice's eyes became big like satellite dishes. She started eating like it was her last meal on earth. She didn't just take 1 or 2 pieces, she grabbed handfuls. When the waiter with spring rolls passed by, she stopped him. "Young man, bring that whole tray here. Yes, the whole thing. Don't worry, I will help you share it to people at my table." The waiter, confused but obedient, dropped the tray. Auntie Beatrice immediately started loading her handbag with spring rolls. Her neighbor at the table, a senator's wife, was watching with her mouth open like she was catching flies. Madam, are you packing food? Yes now, Auntie Beatrice replied without shame. Food at Nigerian parties is not to waste. Oh, I'm taking some for my children at home. In fact, do you have a nylon bag? This handbag is not big enough. Before anyone could respond, Auntie Beatrice had already signaled another waiter. Excuse me, please, bring me one takeaway pack. Big one, oh, not those small ones. The senator's wife turned to her husband. Darling, who is this woman? As the program continued, Auntie Beatrice's mouth had no brake pad. She started her commentary like she was a professional wedding critic for CNN. When they cut the cake, she said loudly, "Chai, see small cake. When my daughter got married, our cake was touching the ceiling. It was so big, they needed ladder to cut it. This one looks like birthday cake for a 5-year-old. The people around her shifted uncomfortably. Someone tried to shush her, but Auntie Beatrice was like a radio with no off button. When the bride and groom had their first dance, she continued, "See how they are dancing safe, like somebody learning to walk for the first time. No rhythm at all. When I got married, my husband and I danced so well that Michael Jackson came out of his grave to clap for us." A woman nearby couldn't help herself. "But Ma, Michael Jackson died in 2009 and you said you got married in 1988. Auntie Beatrice gave her a look that could have frozen fire. "Are you a detective? Who are you investigating? Better face your front before I deal with you." When the bride changed into her reception dress, Auntie Beatrice nearly caused a riot. "Ha! This dress is the same thing my neighbor wore last month. Nothing new. And see the color. Who wears yellow for reception? Yellow is for banana. When my daughter gets married, her dress will be made with real diamonds and gold thread imported from Dubai." People were beginning to whisper, who was this woman? Why was she criticizing everything? And most importantly, who invited her? Finally, the main food arrived. The aroma of jollof rice, fried rice, moi moi, salad, and assorted meat filled the air. Everyone's mouth was watering. The waiters started serving. Auntie Beatrice looked at her plate like a detective looking for evidence at a crime scene. She poked the jollof rice with her fork. She lifted it up, examined it under the light, and then shook her head sadly. "This jollof rice is not jollofing," she announced to the whole table. "Where is the smoke? Where is the party rice flavor? This one tastes like they cooked it inside microwave. When I cook jollof rice, even the neighbors from 3 streets away will come and beg me for just 1 spoon. This one, Steph, I can cook better with my eyes closed." She took a piece of chicken and examined it like a scientist in a laboratory. "And this chicken, was this chicken sick before they killed it? Because it looks very sad. The skin is not even crispy. My own chicken is always so crispy that when you bite it, you will hear the crunch sound from a badon." The senator's wife had had enough. She stood up, her face tight like overstretched drum. "Excuse me, madam. I don't know who you are or how you got to this table, but your behavior is very disrespectful. This is someone's wedding, not a restaurant where you can be complaining about everything." Auntie Beatrice looked up at her, one eyebrow raised higher than her gele. "And who are you to talk to me like that? Do you know who I am? I am—" "We don't care who you are," another man at the table interjected. "You have been nothing but rude since you sat down. You're criticizing the food, the cake, the dancing, everything. If you don't like it, you can leave." Auntie Beatrice's face turned red like pepper. "Leave? Leave go ni. I am not going anywhere. I came for this wedding and I will eat my food in peace. Una no fit chase me." The commotion at the special table was getting louder. People were turning to look. The MC paused his program. And then, like a ship sailing through troubled waters, Auntie Shade, the mother of the bride, appeared. For a moment, there was silence. The whole table was watching like they were watching a Nollywood movie. "Auntie Beatrice, what are you doing here?" Auntie Beatrice smiled widely, showing all her teeth like a crocodile trying to be friendly. "Auntie Shade, my dear sister, congratulations, oh. Your daughter looks so beautiful. I was just telling everyone here how I knew you from way back when." "I didn't invite you," Auntie Shade said quietly. "What?
Auntie Beatrice's smile froze on her face like ice cream in a freezer. I said I didn't invite you to this wedding, Auntie Shade repeated, louder this time. In fact, I specifically made sure your name was not on the list. After what you did at my sister's birthday party last year, the whole hall was quiet. Even the DJ had turned down the music. But Auntie Shade was not done. Oh no. When a Nigerian woman is angry, she will bring receipts from 1985. Let me tell you people what this woman did. Auntie Shade addressed the whole table, her voice rising. Last year, my sister invited her to a small birthday party, just close friends and family. This woman came, ate food for 5 people, packed more food in her bag, and then spent the whole party complaining. She said the jollof rice was too salty. She said the chairs were not comfortable. She said the decorations looked cheap. The crowd was listening like children hearing a bedtime story. Auntie Shade continued. And that's not all. After the party, she went around telling everyone in the neighborhood that my sister's party was rubbish. She said we only gave people Fanta and Coke. Meanwhile, she drank almost a whole bottle of Hennessy by herself. She said the cake was small. Meanwhile, she ate 3 slices and took one home. People at other tables were now standing up to see what was happening. The bride and groom looked confused and embarrassed. The photographer was taking pictures because this was content too good to miss. And now, Auntie Shade's voice was shaking with anger. You have the audacity, the liver, the mind to come to my daughter's wedding without invitation, to sit at the special guest table like you are the president, to drink champagne that costs more than your monthly salary and still have the mouth to criticize everything? Auntie Beatrice tried to speak. But I thought, we are neighbors, we are friends. Friends? Auntie Shade laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. It was a laugh of someone who has reached their limit. Friends don't gossip about each other. Security, Auntie Shade called out. 2 big bouncers appeared immediately. They looked like they could lift a car with one hand. Auntie Beatrice's eyes widened with fear. Please, escort this woman out of my daughter's wedding and make sure she doesn't take anything with her. Check her bag. My bag? Auntie Beatrice clutched her handbag to her chest like it contained the crown jewels. Why should they check my bag? One of the bouncers gently but firmly took the bag from her. When he opened it, spring rolls started falling like rain, followed by puff-puff, samosas, and even a piece of cake wrapped in a serviette. The crowd burst into laughter. She packed food though. Chai, this woman no get shame oh. She came to eat and pack like catering service. Auntie Beatrice's face was now redder than her lipstick. She tried to stand up with dignity, but her jelly had shifted to one side from all the drama, making her look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I'm going, oh, but let me tell you people, this wedding is not even nice safe. I've been to better weddings. When my daughter gets married. Your daughter will still they find husband, someone from the crowd shouted. More laughter. The bouncers each took one of Auntie Beatrice's arms and started walking her to the exit. She was shouting all the way. Leave me. I can walk by myself. This is assault. I will sue. I will report to social media. I will... Her voice faded as they walked her out of the hall. The door closed behind her with a final, satisfying thud. They all erupted in applause. People were standing, clapping, whistling. Auntie Shade took a bow like an actress after a perfect performance. The MC grabbed his microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the best entertainment we didn't plan. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, it's time for the bride and groom to dance. Outside, Auntie Beatrice stood on the street, her expensive aso-oke now looking tired and defeated. Her gele had fallen completely off her head. Her makeup was running because she was sweating from embarrassment. She looked like a peacock that had been caught in the rain. She ordered another Uber. When the driver arrived and saw her face, he asked, Madam, hope no problem? Just drive me home, she muttered, all her fire and confidence completely gone. As the car drove through Lagos traffic, Auntie Beatrice's phone started buzzing. Her WhatsApp was blowing up. Videos of her being escorted out of the wedding were already circulating in 5 different groups. Her name was trending in the neighborhood. Someone had even made a meme with her face and the caption, when you form VIP for where nobody send you. The messages were pouring in. Auntie B, I saw what happened. Now wow. Auntie, this your matter don't scatter for social media oh. Now what for you oh auntie, you no get shame? She switched off her phone and stared out of the window. For the first time in many years, Auntie Beatrice was quiet, very quiet. Back at home, Uncle Jide was watching football when Auntie Beatrice walked in. He took one look at her ruined outfit, her falling belly, her defeated face, and he knew. "So, how was the wedding?" he asked innocently. Auntie Beatrice gave him a look that could have killed a lion. She went straight to the bedroom and locked the door. For 3 days, she didn't leave the house. The shame was too much. Every time she had her phone buzz with a new message, she wanted to throw it out of the window. The whole neighborhood was talking about her. Even the gatesman at her compound looked at her with pity mixed with amusement. On the 4th day, she finally came out. Uncle Jide was having breakfast. She sat down at the table, looking much calmer than before. "Jide," she said quietly, "I have learnt my lesson. From today, I will change. No more going to places where I'm not invited. No more criticizing other people's events. No more comparing everything to my own life. I am a changed woman." Uncle Jide looked at her skeptically. He had heard this song before, but he nodded and said, "That's good, my dear, very good." They finished breakfast in silence. Then Auntie Beatrice's phone beeped. It was a message in the women's WhatsApp group. "Good news, everyone! Mrs. Johnson's son is doing his traditional wedding next month in Abeokuta. The family is very rich, oh. They said their soebi is 75,000 naira. Auntie Beatrice's eyes lit up like Christmas lights. She sat up straight. Her fingers started typing. Yeah, Mrs. Johnson's son is getting married, but I remember that boy was still in primary school. Time flies, oh. I must attend this wedding. In fact, I was very close to her grandmother before she traveled abroad. We were like sisters." Uncle Jide looked at his wife. He shook his head. Some people, he thought, will never change. Auntie Beatrice was already planning her outfit for the next wedding. Her mind was racing. Which asoke should she wear? Which jewelry? Should she increase her gele size to 4 stories instead of 3? The shame from Chioma's wedding was already forgotten, because that's how Auntie Beatrice was built. Embarrassment bounced off her like water off a duck's back. Common sense ran away from her like people running from area boys. And self-awareness, that one had never even visited her neighborhood. 2 months later, Mrs. Johnson's son got married. The wedding was beautiful, well-planned, and peaceful. Auntie Beatrice was not there. Not because she had changed her ways, but because Mrs. Johnson, who had heard about the Chioma wedding disaster, had hired professional security with Auntie Beatrice's picture, with strict instructions. If you see this woman anywhere near this venue, don't even let her park her car. But the legend of Auntie Beatrice lived on. Parents in the neighborhood started using her story to teach their children. Don't be like Auntie Beatrice, so don't go where you are not invited. Don't criticize what you cannot do better. And for God's sake, don't pack food in your handbag at parties. Wedding planners in Lagos started offering a new package, Auntie Beatrice Prevention Protocol. We ensure your event is free from gate crashers and over-sabi relatives. Even the bride, Chioma, eventually found the humor in it. On her 1-year anniversary, she posted on Instagram, "1 year ago today, I got married. Special thanks to Auntie Beatrice for providing the entertainment we didn't plan but definitely needed. You made our day unforgettable, literally." As for Auntie Beatrice herself, she's still in Surulere, still over-sabiing, still comparing, still showing up where she's not invited. Because some people are like stubborn stains on white cloth. No matter how much you wash them, they refuse to come out. But now, whenever she walks down the street, children point and whisper, "That's the auntie wey carry spring rolls come out for wedding." And she holds her head high and pretends she doesn't hear. After all, if shame could kill, Auntie Beatrice would have died at Chioma's wedding. But she's still here, still standing, still planning which wedding to crash next. Some heroes wear capes, some wear gele, but Auntie Beatrice, she wears audacity, seasoned with plenty shamelessness and a complete lack of self-awareness. And that, my dear friends, is how one wedding in Lagos became a legend that will be told for generations to come. Whenever you see someone doing too much at a party, just remember Auntie Beatrice and say a little prayer that they don't end up on social media like her. The end. My darlings, please help me grow this channel by clicking on like button, subscribe, share, and comment. Do you know of any Auntie Beatrice? Or you are Auntie Beatrice? Or yeah, come closer, let me advise you. In this 2026, if you are not invited, maybe through WhatsApp message, invitation card, and even through call, please don't go. Instead, on that day, buy chicken, turn on your generator, climb your sofa or bed, turn on your TV, and watch your favorite movie. But wait, is it really the end? With people like Auntie Beatrice in Lagos, the stories never truly end. They just take a small break before the next Owambe disaster.